Hey there, I'm DPadGamer, and as I promised last time in part 1, we're again revisiting glitches in Breath of the Wild. There's a lot of wild stuff that we'll look at in this video, but we're gonna work our way there by starting with something completely useless. That being the momentum glitch, which is more of a side effect of something useful we'll look at later on. It's pretty simple, just jump and perform a shield flip, and while in the air, on your shield, go to the map and teleport somewhere. Next time you enter the ragdoll state, like for example damaging yourself with a bomb, you won't go anywhere. For that one knockback, your momentum will be 0, which is why it's called a momentum glitch. Also, if you slow it down, you can see that Link briefly becomes a spaghetti monster. Oh, and you know those oversized barrels that are scattered across Hyrule, letting Link sneak around while holding them Wind Waker style? Instead of doing any of that, just flip it over and hop on top. Crouch and nudge Link around while tapping A. He'll occasionally be able to pick up the barrel that he's standing on, knocking him away. This can be fun to mess with, just don't lose your barrel. For another super minor glitch, try using Rivali's Gale, and immediately after letting go of the jump button, press L to pull out a bomb. With the right timing, Link will hold the bomb as he rises into the air, with the glider out as well. If you somehow find a use for that, let me know. Next, let's transition over to Ka-Okio Shrine, which I probably said wrong, which is southwest of Tabitha Tower. This shrine involves a lot of wind-based stuff, and in one room you'll navigate around and then up this tower, which initially has stone blocks that you have to blow up. Glide over here and stand on one of these platforms. Use a bomb and have it both explode the stone blocks and knock yourself back into the void at the same time. After respawning, you'll be above the shrine and see the secret revealed cutscene focusing on the newly uncovered stream of wind. So now we're totally out of bounds, and you might be wondering why? Well, it's pretty simple. Whenever Link voids out, he's returned to the last location where he was safely standing on the ground. In this case, when you destroy the wall of blocks, the solid block you were standing on is moved up above the shrine, so the game does its best and just spawns you up there. This is very useless because without more glitchy creativity, you're not getting back inside. You can, however, run around and enjoy the view, and even glide around the outside. Just note, if you fall, you'll be here for a while, so you'll want to teleport away at some point. By the way, you know what teleporting does? It gives you a loading screen. Great transition, I know. For some reason, if you want, you can intentionally cause loading screens that take upwards of a minute. Who knew Breath of the Wild was on the PS3? All you need to do is reload a save while in bullet time, and have a bomb on screen. Oh, neat. Next up, here's a way to turn Link invisible. All you need to do is pick up an item as it falls off of a ledge, causing Link to seemingly disappear. As you move away from the object on the ground, you'll see Link fade out. I personally couldn't get this to work for myself, but I would love to see if it would work going into a cutscene. I'll also add here that you can intentionally mess up the dye shop cutscene in Hateno Village by piling up objects either around the trap door where Link is dropped into the vat, which can look very weird, or objects around where Link reappears when his new outfit is revealed. And another glitch involving a shop is that if you pick up a bomb as the item menu shows up, there will be at least one frame that displays an incorrect number of rupees for the cost, damage numbers, and so on. As far as I'm aware, this is only a visual glitch, but it's still neat. In the last video, we talked about item smuggling, and now we're going to look at bow smuggling, which has nothing to do with that one, it just has a similar name. That's where you stand in front of an object, hold your shield, press ZR, and then a few frames later, press A. This will force Link to have the bow in his hand while doing other actions. When you feel like disabling the glitch, just equip another bow. You can also force Link to have his bow out while climbing by pulling it out without having any arrows, a few frames before landing on a wall, out of a bullet time bounce. Or at least that's the conditions that Kleric had when it happened for him. Either way, it's a glitch, so there you go. Also, I'm just gonna toss this one in here because I don't know where else. Firstly, it's possible to clip into the block, like here where you end up sort of right up against the wall. But more interesting, to me at least, is that you can jump on and mount the side of the block as it grows, causing Link to shake. Either way, did you know that it's possible to walk around while in bullet time? It sounds odd, but here's how it's done. Spawn 2 cryo pillars over the water with a gap in between that allows Link to stand in the middle without actually falling. The game thinks Link has space below him, so when you jump and press ZR, he'll pull out the bow and enter bullet time. If you do this but press ZR as he lands to pull out the bow, then alternate pressing R and B repeatedly, which causes him to pull out and put away his weapon, he'll maintain bullet time while on the ground. It can be very hard to keep the rhythm going, let alone while moving, but you can move wherever while in bullet time. Just note that if there's any change in elevation big enough to cause Link to fall, you'll lose the bullet time. That's why I set up this fancy ramp. I'm assuming if you stock up on stamina food, make a ramp, and keep the R and B button rhythm going, you could go on forever, very slowly. Next up, we got a series of glitches involving those seals you find lounging outside of Gerudo Town. First off, sneak up to one of them, press A to grab on the reins, and then quickly press L to pull out the bomb. If timed correctly, Link will get pulled around while holding an invisible bomb, which is called bomb smuggling. Alternatively, you could stand next to a seal, hold ZL to shield, and press A and use your bow. Link will be stuck in place as the seal and the rope extend out before breaking away, stopping the glitch. You also have the option of standing next to the seal, press A to start the ride, then L to pull out a bomb right after. As soon as you see the rope, cancel by pressing B or X, depending on your control scheme. The goal here is to have the rope extend out, but then get stuck in place. It won't be connected to either you nor the seal, but it sticks around nonetheless. Next time you try to hitch a ride on a seal, Link won't be able to pull out a rope, letting the seal just get away because the rope was already present in the world. The next attempt, however, after that will work. And before the last of the seal-related glitches, let's quickly recap how shield surfing usually works. Link will always face forward, and if you turn while going down a slope, Link will lean into the direction you hold, and has a pretty wide turn radius. Well, there's a glitch that Kleric found which changes that. Just walk up to a seal, press A then B to cancel it. Simple as that. From now on, when you try to shield surf, you'll find that Link's turn radius has been reduced, and in fact, he'll actually rotate as he slides, meaning that he can be sliding backwards if you want. It's even maintained through teleports and save files, so be sure to go back to the seal and ride like normal to disable the glitch. I tried to do something cool with it, and it just didn't work out. Kleric, on the other hand, made this super sweet trick shot using the glitch. Nice. Moving on, there's a couple of advanced combat tricks involving Daruk's protection. As you can see in this awesome tutorial by Rin, which it'll be linked in the description, if you press ZL very briefly, it's possible to parry an attack or an explosion without using up a charge of the ability. That's Daruk's perfect parry, and after each perfect parry, the next time Link backflips, he'll jump farther and not rotate all the way. Either way, this trick leads directly into bomb parrying, which is where you can parry the explosion damage from a bomb, and if you combine the two, as Rin calls it, it lets you do a force push. Oh, and in this clip, Rin combines the perfect parry, bombs, and some side hops to pull off a Daruk rush takedown. Just look at it. Now let's look at a neat glitch involving a Korok puzzle. Like Kleric demonstrates, it's possible to set up a Korok block puzzle to be almost completed, and use stasis to knock it into position as you void out. Doing so allows you to open up your inventory while dead, which otherwise would be pretty useless. But if you remember from part 1, adding items to your arms while in the smuggle glitch messes with things, and it allows you, in this case, to ignore the death plane and walk around at the bottom of the cliff. Unfortunately, the camera is stuck looking down at Link, but it's still pretty cool. Now let's finally talk about that glitch that I hinted at in part 1 and some of you asked about, which is the skew glitch. There is a lot that stems from this, so let's start from the very beginning. Firstly, to perform a skew clip, you must store a skew. This is done on a slope, like you're seeing here. Jump, shield, and press A to stand on your shield. Doing so stores a skewed angle for Link, which is activated the next time you cancel a shield flip mid-air. The next time you land on your shield, the skew will be lost. Until then, having this skewed angle mid-air allows talented folk to clip right through all kinds of objects. There's also extended shield clipping and repeating shield clipping, which are sort of similar, which chain skews together by repeatedly shielding, unequipping the shield, and shielding again, and so on. The important thing here is that when shielding mid-air after storing a skew, Link will be at the skewed angle before returning quickly to the correct angle. And by repeatedly activating the skewed angle, Link more or less vibrates back and forth through the objects. And by the way, this is by no means a comprehensive tutorial, but hopefully you get the idea of what's going on there. There is another way that you could set a skew, that being landing on a sloped surface with your shield while in bullet time, which stores a downward skew, and the next time you enter the shield surf state, he'll bounce upwards. Since that requires you to land on your shield, to perform another bounce you'll have to set another downward skew. There's also a related glitch that involves shield flipping and bullet time called ollie clipping. That's where you jump and flip onto your shield, pull out your bow to enter bullet time, and then the frame he collides with the ground, press Y 3 times in a rhythmic pattern. So it's sort of like Y space, Y space, and so on, just faster. In this clip from Xanth, you can listen to the sound and hear what I mean. Ollie clipping works because as Link makes contact with the ground, he enters a jump animation without actually jumping. And while clipping through the ground, if you run out of stamina about halfway submerged, Link will remain motionless on the shield with the bow out and go surfing away. The weird thing here is that it allows you to gain considerable speed, much more than the shield surfing usually would. Now let's finally revisit the Trial of the Sword, or at least a glitch that involves it. You can enter a glitch state by entering the Trial of the Sword and teleporting away to an unfinished Divine Beast. That's what you're seeing in this footage provided by Austin John Plays. Big thanks to him for that, by the way. Normally, flipping over a ruined guardian will produce a few ancient parts, while in the Trial of the Sword glitch state, they're especially giving. It's also important to note that chests will replenish their stock like you see here after teleporting, so placing a travel medallion nearby gives you a nice simple way to farm basically any item. It also works for Korok puzzles, like here where burning a pile of leaves makes the flammable wooden Korok pop out and give you a seed, which is also flammable, but that's besides the point because one teleport later, it's reset, he can do it again and again and again. And now we have a very spooky glitch, which is actually Switch exclusive, called the Lizalfos Curse. One place to do this glitch is with the Lizalfos on the pillar near Deiko Ta Shrine. I probably said that wrong again, but either way, with the Majora's Mask on so that enemies don't wake up from detecting you, nudge them all off of the pillar so that they're floating in the air. When doing so, you'll see that they're shaking. Apparently, those sand lizards shake at the exact resonant frequency of the universe itself, as eventually Link and other objects will begin to shake as well. The Lizalfos Curse will only remain active while within a certain distance from the glitch's original location. Various characters and objects will forget how gravity works, get stuck in place, even rotate when they shouldn't be. At a certain point, I don't think words can begin to describe what's going on here. Once you're done messing around with Hyrule's version of the Dark Arts, fast travel to easily disable the curse. I mean glitch. And with that, I think we'll call it here. I originally planned for these videos to be a duology, but there's enough glitches that it justifies making it a trilogy instead. So we'll pick things up back in a week with the third and, I promise, final video of Breath of the Wild glitches revisited. Consider subscribing so that you get notified when that or any of my other videos get uploaded. Thanks for watching. I'm DPadGamer, and I'll see you in the next one.